Speaking of a great man, we went and saw the GOAT last night. Like one of the greatest sports people of all time. They're definitely the greatest quarterback of all time in NFL circles.
Better than I expected, I got to say.
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Oh yeah, I should say the name.
Yeah.
And it was packed. I think it was 2,000 people there. Where was that? That's the Royal...
Yeah, the Royal Exhibition Convention Centre.
RNA Showgrounds.
RNA Showgrounds, yeah.
I was moaning a bit about having to go, I got to say, on a Sunday night. And I'm like, who else wants to go and see Tom Brady? But then when I got there, I totally get it. When I heard his story, I didn't know much about him. Like, I didn't realise that he was... How many years did he play in the NFL for? Like
24? 23, was it?
23, might have been.
23 years.
Yeah.
Most number of Super Bowls?
7 Super Bowls, went to 10 total. I think he won 5 Super Bowl MVPs. Numerous times was the NFL MVP for the season. He won his last Super Bowl when he was like 42 or 43. Like only a couple of years ago. He said he was
only retired last year.
46 now.
He's in good nick.
Oh, he's amazing.
He's easy on the eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a big strapping guy, isn't he? Like I think of quarterbacks, I don't think they're that big, but he towered over Pat Carrigan. The Bronx got I think he's 6'5" or something.
6'4".
Big unit.
Yeah, very tall. Good looking bloke.
Great hair, didn't he? Kind of
Beautiful
it's
hair,
interesting to
great teeth.
humanise someone that famous. You know, like it's kind of the stuff of myths.
Yeah, he did the big meet and greet before, so 2,000 people. Do you reckon everyone filed through and got a photo with him? Must have been nearly.
I think
No, it was
you
like
had,
only
you had
the
to
peop-
pay
yeah.
extra
Oh,
didn't you,
right.
for the photo.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, a fair few people, like hundreds,
Yeah.
Yes.
filed through. He was very personable, wasn't he? We shook his hand and got a photo with him.
I said, gee, and his voice, he had a great voice too. I remember I said, like, I sort of pushed you towards him and said, this is an Olympic champion, Tom. I think he said...
He said, congratulations on your sporting success.
Congratulations on all your sporting success. That's what he said.
I said, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to tonight. And then he gave that talk or the interview that went for... How long did that go for, do you reckon?
Well,
Hour and a half.
yeah,
you
he had a
reckon?
conversation for an hour and a half.
He
Yeah.
had some very good points, I thought.
Mm.
The biggest one I took from it was him talking about controlling the controllables. You know,
Yes.
just control what you can do, especially in team sports, hey, and when you get picked and that sort of thing. Like, you can't control any of that stuff.
Yeah, he said he had a lot of rivals or whatever, teammates that over the years would use excuses for, not getting picked or not getting to where they want. And instead of doing that, he just focused on taking the opportunities he did get, which early on weren't that many, and making sure he just excelled at that. So maybe he was getting 3 plays when he started out playing, then he said eventually he got 4. So
Yes.
he made the most of that, and eventually he was getting 10.
But it wasn't. Well, I think what I enjoyed about it is that he shared that he didn't have that attitude to begin with. He developed that attitude, and he wasn't the greatest athlete of all time. Like he wasn't a superstar coming through. He wasn't even the number 1 quarterback in his high school football team.
Where was it in college? What he said he was a 7th stringer?
Yeah, and then when he went to
Quarterback?
college, he was the seventh choice as being the quarterback. But every time that he was finally given the opportunity, he grasped it with both hands. And even when he went to the NFL, he wasn't the number 1 quarterback. He had to wait for his opportunity, wait for a full season.
Yeah, he said that, I think I was just listening to the speech again a bit there, and he said that, he wasn't the fittest, but emotionally he was the strongest. He had the best work ethic. His work ethic is second to none, from what I heard, isn't it? Like, if he had training at 11 a.m., he'd get there, didn't he say 6 a.m., and do extra training before he started his training.
Yep.
Like, he was the hardest worker. He was the most enthusiastic. He was the most positive. So what he made up for, because he said, he wasn't the naturally most talented athletic person. He made up for in his actual work ethic, which everyone can do, can't they? Everyone can do that part.
Yeah, and
Yes.
he's
his
going
point.
into a career in broadcasting next year, and you can tell that he's taking that as seriously as what he is for his career.
He strikes you as someone that if he's doing it, he's all in.
Yep.
Isn't it? And he's making it some massive money. I can't know exactly what that Fox Sports deal was, but I heard like 100 million.
I think it's
375 million
Holy shit!
over 10 years.
US.
It's more than his playing career, isn't it?
And you know what? Like, who else but him? Like, if you're watching the NFL coverage, I mean, Tom Brady. Honestly, I can't think of one player I'd rather hear than him giving his insight. And it's not just like giving 2-minute snippets. They made the point last night saying he's play by play. He's on the mic.
He did one bit last night where he spoke for 24 minutes straight, and there wasn't one boring bit in it. And not only that, I tapped into it earlier and I mentioned it to Lutzi. I went, he doesn't say or ah.
Yeah.
Or, like, he does not falter at all in his language. He's incredible. It was really impressive. He told a story too about Michael Jordan with the shoes, Buzz. That I actually thought of you.
It was funny because he was name dropping, but it sounded funny because he was talking about his mate.
Yeah,
and it was Michael Jordan.
MJ, as he calls him. In a nutshell, he had a contact with Jordan, and he said, "Oh, I love some of the Jordan shoes that are coming out. If maybe you've got some, down the back, some special ones. I'll buy them off you, like 3 or 4 pair." And the guy came back and said, "Oh, we might have some down the back." And he goes, "Hang on a sec. I was just playing golf with MJ," and he said, you're both size 13s. Jordan will just send you some pairs of his actual Jordans, and then the next day, literally hundreds of pairs of Michael Jordan's actual Jordans. So he said, not only am I wearing Jordans, I'm wearing Michael Jordan's Jordans.
So
hundreds of pairs. Just think about that for a second.
I wasn't there, obviously, but I saw on Instagram, was it Reece Walsh taking a...
Yes.
That was hilarious.
Oh, yeah, now we've got that up on our Instagram.
Yes.
So check out that if you haven't seen it. We've got a great vision. Nick stood up on a chair and got a great shot of Reece running across the room.
That vision's better than anything I've seen on the TV today.
Yeah, way better.
Oh, yeah.
Nick got the prime position.
Yeah.
So
He didn't care. He jumped up on his chair, stood up in his chair and got that vision.
And what about the confidence of Reece Walsh, by the way? He was like, even when he was up on stage, he was like wrangling with the MC, going with an NFL ball, saying, "I've got to get Brady to sign this." Like, if the shows are going on, and he's going, "I need this signed. I need this signed. It's going to happen."
Yeah.
And then sure enough, straight back to the stage after he took the ball to get it signed.
And
So-
we've got to make an adjustment to our for one of our intros for one of the members of the show, because they called out like all of the big stars to sort of come and catch a ball, and they went, let's welcome up Reece Walsh, and now let's welcome up Lachie Neal. And we're looking at each other going,
Who the hell is Lachie Neal? Or something like
I don't know that person. And it was Lachie Neal.
Oh, my God. We'll get that sorted ahead of the AFL season.